Hey guys, welcome back to Cruise Blog. This is Allie, and today I'm going to be sharing about my experiences booking guaranteed cabins. I've booked guaranteed cabins on a cruise ship 16 times in my life, and while it's saved me money, I don't exactly think it's worth it anymore. Let's get into it. While I've likely saved thousands of dollars over the years booking guaranteed cabins, my last experience was the final straw. After not sleeping for 4 nights in a row on board Carnival's oldest cruise ship, I have sworn off guaranteed cabins for the foreseeable future. Here's why I won't be booking guaranteed cabins anymore, even if I have to spend a little extra money to avoid them. So first, let's talk about what is a guaranteed cabin. Well, you aren't able to actually select which stateroom on the ship you want to sail in. As such, you typically aren't assigned a cabin until the sailing date is closer. When a guest selects a guaranteed cabin, they are guaranteed a stateroom in that booked category or higher. This means you could technically be assigned a more expensive room than what you paid for. However, it's pretty rare to be awarded a cabin in a category above what you paid. Most of the time, you'll receive a cabin in the stateroom category that you booked. By forfeiting control of your choosing your cabin, you are able to get a lower price on your cruise fare. Most of the time. Consider guaranteed cabins like playing the lottery. While there's a chance you could score big, you are more likely to feel disappointed. The cheapest cabins on board are usually interior guarantees. These are windowless staterooms located throughout a cruise ship. You won't find a balcony or window in these cabins. However, interior staterooms have all the basic necessities you need for a comfortable stay. So one of the biggest reasons I won't be booking a guaranteed cabin anymore is because they're usually in the least desired locations on a cruise ship. When cruise lines assign guaranteed cabins to guests, they're essentially handing out the leftover staterooms that nobody else wanted to book. As you might imagine, there are typically valid reasons that passengers choose not to book certain staterooms. These undesirable cabins could be located near noisy areas like the elevator, the anchor, under the pool deck, above the nightclub, or by an employee service door. And no one wants to be kept awake all night by noises, especially on their vacation. Similarly, guests usually choose midship as the most desirable location on a cruise ship because of its convenience. Staterooms located midship are also better for those who are prone to motion sickness. This leaves many of the guaranteed cabins situated in the ship's forward or aft. In this way, guaranteed cabins are best for flexible cruisers who aren't concerned about where their stateroom will be located. You don't have to worry about the pressure to select the perfect cabin during the booking process either. If you're concerned about booking the cheapest cabin possible, then this is a very easy way to save money. And for many years, I didn't really care where my stateroom was located on a cruise ship. Cost used to be the biggest driving factor for me when I booked a cruise. I didn't exactly mind what ship or cabin I'd be sailing in. I just wanted to be on a cruise ship. Additionally, I really never spent that much time in my cabin anyway while cruising. My time on a cruise is normally spent enjoying the amenities or exploring the exciting ports of call. On a port-intensive itinerary, I would spend most of the day out exploring the destination before spending the evening on board enjoying dinner and the entertainment experience. I'm a destination-focused cruiser, so I'm usually booking itineraries that have new ports of call every single day. This was the easiest way that I could justify the cabin guarantee gamble. However, I had 3 horrible experiences with guaranteed cabins within the last year. My good luck with guaranteed cabins came to an end last year, starting with a short cruise on Celebrity Silhouette. In March 2023, my sister and I booked a last-minute spring break cruise to Key West and Cozumel on a 4-night itinerary. During this cruise, we were assigned an interior stateroom at the very front of the ship on Deck 9. Our guaranteed cabin was located at the end of the hallway, requiring us to weave around long hallways to reach our stateroom. Next to our cabin was a crew-only service door, proving to be quite noisy starting very early in the morning. Each day we were awoken around 5:30 a.m. by clinks, thuds, and bangs coming from the crew area. Although our cabin steward was concerned about all the noise and stated he would report it to a supervisor, I didn't really expect any changes. The crew members work really hard on cruise ships, often starting work very early in the morning. Even with wearing earplugs, blasting white noise, and taking sleeping meds, I could not drown out the noises. I slept so little on this cruise that I actually got run down with bronchitis. As I laid awake in the night, I was dreading the fact that I had another guaranteed cabin booked a few months later. That summer, my husband and I booked a guaranteed balcony cabin for our Iceland cruise on Jewel of the Seas. We saved around $400 booking a guaranteed stateroom, which we thought was worthwhile. Unfortunately, we were assigned a cabin directly above the nightclub. This meant that every evening until around midnight, we could hear the loud bass of the music thumping the floor of our cabin. Considering we had many long days exploring the destination, destinations in Iceland, my husband and I were so annoyed that we couldn't fall asleep before midnight every evening. Later in the year, I was sailing on Norwegian Star around the British Isles in a guaranteed interior cabin with my fellow cruise blog writer Haley. Because this was such a port-intensive itinerary, I didn't plan on spending much time in our stateroom anyway. Unfortunately, our cabin was located, again, above the nightclub. We were kept up late into the evening listening to the music playing below. It was so loud that it almost sounded like they were playing music in our cabin. After these frustrating experiences, I started to question whether booking a guaranteed cabin was actually worth it anymore. Even still, my worst guaranteed cabin experience happened recently while sailing on Carnival Sunshine. Carnival Sunshine was my final straw with guaranteed cabins. Consider this stateroom the one that broke the camel's back for my guaranteed stateroom experiences. My sister and I booked the cheapest stateroom on Carnival's oldest ship, Carnival Sunshine. We were assigned an accessible cabin, which had a more unique configuration than other staterooms we've stayed in before. During the first night, we were kept awake by loud thumps and bangs. The wall would shake, and we just couldn't understand what was happening or where this sound was coming from. I was so tired and frustrated by the first morning that I was almost in tears. Making our way to breakfast, I figured out that our cabin shared a wall directly with the elevator shaft. Didn't even know that cruise ships had staterooms this close to the elevator, let alone sharing a wall. Unsurprisingly, there was a reason that no one had booked this cabin with its terrible location right next to the elevator. Who wants to be willingly kept awake all night by the elevator thuds moving up and down the cruise ship? After 4 nights of not sleeping, I made a vow to myself that I will never willingly book a guaranteed cabin again. Even though I've saved money over the years booking guaranteed cabins, I really don't see the value anymore. Ships are continuously sailing at full capacity with guests booking the most desirable cabin locations, so this leaves only the bottom of the barrel cabins available for guaranteed bookings. If you want something like a balcony cabin in a decent location, you have to pay for it now. Gone are those days where you would win the guaranteed cabin lottery and save money while doing it by getting a cabin upgrade. Now the only thing you're pretty much guaranteed is an unpopular cabin selection. When I'm cruising, I want to make sure that I'm not setting myself up to be disappointed. Feeling relaxed and rested during vacation is a priority for me as well. I don't want to feel run down, and I certainly shouldn't be waking up earlier on a cruise than I do at home for work. This summer, my husband and I spent an extra $500 to choose the location of our balcony stateroom on Celebrity Apex while sailing around the Norwegian fjords. I meticulously researched the available cabins, choosing a porthole balcony near the aft of the ship. It was one of the best stateroom experiences that we've ever had. We never heard a single peep while trying to sleep. Moving forward, I will spend the extra money to avoid guaranteed staterooms. I don't mind booking interior cabins as long as I can choose the location on the ship. If I'm spending thousands of dollars to take a cruise vacation, especially on a longer itinerary, I'm going to ensure that my cabin selection is not an issue. Finally, some cruisers with guaranteed staterooms have actually been denied boarding their cruise due to overbooked sailings in recent years. Recent headlines in the news have also provided me even more evidence that I don't want to book guaranteed cabins anymore. Although rare, some cruisers have been denied boarding their cruise with a guaranteed cabin at the cruise terminal because of overbooked sailings. Last November, one first-time cruiser posted on Reddit about their experience booking a guaranteed cabin on Quantum of the Seas, which was set to sail from Australia. The cruiser received an unexpected letter at the boarding terminal explaining the overbooking situation. Because the cruise was oversold, Royal Caribbean was unable to find a cabin for the cruiser. The devastated traveler was given the option to wait at the terminal in hopes of a last-minute cancellation, but when all passengers arrived as scheduled, the cruiser was turned away from their holiday. The other passengers turned away also had booked guaranteed cabins. Although this is extremely rare, the incident is a good reminder of the risk taken when booking guaranteed cabins. When cruises are oversold and last-minute cancellations fail to happen, cruise lines are forced to turn away paying customers. Based on these very few rare occurrences, the passengers turned away usually had guaranteed cabins booked. As if I needed more reason to avoid guaranteed cabins, after hearing this story, I was further validated that the risk and gamble of booking a guaranteed stateroom on a cruise simply isn't worth it to me anymore. All right, everybody, that's all I have for today. Comment below if you end up booking guaranteed cabins or not, or whether you think it's worth the extra splurge to select the cabin on your cruise. Thanks for tuning in today, everybody, and be sure and like and subscribe to Cruise Blog so that you can be notified every time we have a new video. Until next time, happy cruising.